Hello and welcome back to the DITV pregame show. I'm your host, Beau Bowman, and joined as always by Rohden.
So good to be back. I know it's only been a week, but it always feels so long. But we've got another good matchup this week as Maryland comes to town for a Big Ten game against the Hawks. And despite Maryland's record, this has the potential to be a very good game.
The Terrapins are an overlooked team in the Big Ten, but they've got 4-2. Their record is 4-2, excuse me, with wins over Minnesota and 7th-ranked Texas, who is apparently back. Hook 'em up, right?
Thanks, Tom Herman. Well, they've got a fast-paced offense headlined by running back Ty Johnson.
Last week, Johnson became only the 4th Terrapin ever to gain 4,000 career all-purpose yards.
And he tends to play well in big games. He had a 98-yard kick return for a touchdown against then 15th-ranked Michigan and a 100-yard one against Ohio State last year.
Popped off some big runs against a lot of good teams, and that's something, you always have to be where you need to be if you're trying to guard against big plays. So, yeah, I think it's going to be challenging. They got a big old line and really good running back, so you got to be prepared.
It all comes down. They got an experienced offensive line, and then they got 3 backs that can hit you for big ones at any time. I think they're averaging 241 on the ground a game, and they got the 3rd most explosive plays in the run game in college football. So. They run downhill. They're fast guys, and it's going to be a big challenge for us, but it's something we're looking forward to because we feel our strength is stopping the run.
Yeah, absolutely. They're extremely explosive. I think they're like top 5 in the country in explosive runs. So, that's something that we got to make sure we bottle them guys up and, they don't get out in space, doesn't turn into a foot race.
But Maryland has had some obstacles to overcome off the field this year, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is correct. Head coach DJ Durkin was placed on administrative leave before the season started after one Terrapin football died during an off-season workout.
Maryland has yet to make a decision, but the findings into the investigation of the culture surrounding the football program are expected to be released within the next week. And Lucy, you and I spoke with Durkin and a couple Maryland football players at Big Ten Media Day, and it seemed even there some of the football players didn't quite agree with Durkin on some serious philosophical issues. Let's take a look.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
No.
Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a hot dog. If it was a sandwich, they call it a sandwich.
That's actually a really good point.
You call a burger a burger, though. You don't call a burger a sandwich.
Yeah, so burger's not a sandwich either.
Burger's not a sandwich?
No, it's a burger. when you look on a menu, it says sandwiches, and it lists what sandwiches they have, right? And then burger or hot dog, it's different.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, you got bread and then you got a hot dog, so yeah.
Coach Durkin said no.
He just said it was a hot dog?
Yeah, he said it was a hot dog. He said since it's not in the sandwich part of the menu, it doesn't count.
Well, I say it's a sandwich.
Well, personally, I'm on the sandwich side of things. It's definitely a sandwich. You got the meat, you got the buns. What else do you need?
That's absolutely wrong, but okay.
Now, the Hawks haven't played in Maryland since 2015, and a lot of current players weren't even on the team then.
And what I remember most about that game is Desmond King's insane pick 6 that just really put a nice topper on his amazing season.
That's right. That's right. In that Jim Thorpe campaign, that was so cool to watch. But that was a long time ago, and I think it's safe to say the Hawks aren't quite as familiar with Terrapins or turtles in general as you might think.
No, not really. I had some buddies that might have done it who lived on farms and stuff growing up, but for me personally, I don't have much experience messing around with turtles. Find out this weekend.
I live on the lake, so you see them all the time, but no, I never really did anything with them. Maybe kicked them out around every once in a while, but no, you don't really. We never hunted them or anything. So.
Not too familiar with turtles per se. I'm not a huge fan of snapping turtles. I've heard those are pretty dangerous, but I've never seen a terrapin.
None of you
myself.
Guys went turtle hunting, caught turtles at lake cabins, any of this?
I've caught one before probably, but never really was a huge fan of it. They're pretty smelly.
With that being said, the Hawks have been in the film room all week long trying to figure out how they contain this explosive offense.
Let's take a look now at a couple highlights from last week. Oh, here's Ty Johnson here on the kick return. I'm sorry. Here they go. No, that's all right. All right, let's get into the predictions now. Lucy, who you got this week?
Well, as you saw that fast-paced offense right there, I don't know what I was going to do. Actually, my family is flying in from North Carolina, and last year, the only game they flew in for was the Ohio State game. So even though a lot of people are having Iowa on upset alert, I'm taking the Hawks because the Rohdeens are in town.
I'm taking the Hawks as well. I just think our offense has been playing too well for Maryland to stop us, and they haven't shown me so much that our defense can't handle. Ty Johnson's good, but is he enough to do it alone? I don't think so. That's it for us in the sports studio. Guys at the desk, back to you.